Hi, I'm Nick Quick from Email Marketing Done, and today we are going to be going through the opening volley part 1 theory. So, what is in store for you on this training session? First off, you're going to get the shocking truth about the state of email marketing. And what I mean by that is that open rates, click-through rates, sales rates, they are at an all-time low. If you can remember back to a time where you would get those AOL DVDs in the mail trying to get you to install their software, you might even remember when it was exciting to get you got mail. When you heard that, you thought, hey, awesome. Now, if something like that were going on on your computer, you were hearing that all day, you would be annoyed to high hell. It would just be going off constantly. We're receiving far more email than we have in the past. So, we're going to show you exactly how to position yourself to always be the first thing that your customers, your contacts want to open when they open their inbox each day. I want to show you how to make your email stand out like a hot chick in a miniskirt at Easter Mass. I want it to be so obvious that this is the email that they want to read, consume, act, open, click, do all of that because it's going to be the best part of their email experience that day. I'm going to show you the key to gaining ravenous fans who only want to consume from you, where they don't even consider anybody else in their market. You are their one true source for their solutions that they're looking for. I'm going to give you a detailed sequence for landing yourself squarely in your subscribers' inbox. And when I say inbox, I mean priority inbox. I don't know if you've noticed that Google and some of the others, Yahoo and even Outlook, have started adding different tabs where people can decide where they want to have your emails go. And in fact, most of the time, it's not even decided by the user. It's decided mostly by algorithms created by Google and the other ISPs out there. If you follow the steps that I'm about to give you, you're going to be landing squarely into their priority inbox so that you have a higher chance of getting read. Another thing that I'm going to show you, and this one's pretty sneaky, I'm going to show you how to grow your list on autopilot. There's a way that you can take the existing subscribers that you have and the ones that are coming into your funnel every day and have them spread the word for you in a way that gets you free opt-ins and free backlinks like crazy. So we'll get into that in a minute. So who am I and why should you pay attention to me? Listen, I'm Nick Quick. I'm your email go-to guy, and as you can see in the picture, I'm very serious about email marketing. I started marketing online in 2005, and to be perfectly honest, I had not a clue about marketing, nor did I have a couple shiny buffalo nickels to clink together in my pocket. I was broke, didn't know how to do marketing, and I thought I had the perfect idea on something that was going to be an overnight sensation. I'd be a millionaire, and all of that nonsense that I was indoctrinated to believe was going to be the case. Well, my first business tanked, and it tanked big time. It kind of sank me into a bigger depression where I was without a job and without really much income coming in. So what did I do? Some people would go back and find that dirty job. They would get the job. Not me. I pushed through. I started a second business, and it's in this second business where I really found my niche. And it's pretty much been my life support up until very recently. And so it was with this business that I was able to discover the power of effective email copywriting. It was the email copywriting that really was my one-two sucker punch that was driving all of my sales. It was my go-to knockout move that would drive cash into my bank account. And tonight I'm going to give you a very small piece of the system that I used to start piling up fat stacks of cash. All right. So once I figured this out, money flowed like beer down my throat on a Friday night. And I want to show you the same stuff tonight. I received such praise for my email copy from people in the industry and them sharing it with people outside of the industry that folks started asking me to write their emails for them. They just figured, I could write this myself, but what you're coming out with is so much better. And that's why in early 2015, just earlier this year, I formed Email Marketing Done. It's your source for professional email copywriting done for you, handed to you on a silver platter. Tonight, I'm going to reveal to you the opening volley sequence. And this sequence is designed from the ground up to get people ravenously excited to open your emails. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, let's just dive into some of the ground rules. Turn everything else off. This is important. I know that you might be receiving text messages. You've probably got emails coming into your inbox that are always there nagging you at the back of your mind. What is it? What is it? It's not as important as this if you think about all of the money that is going to be derived from you putting the strategies into play that I'm about to reveal to you. Second, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them when they come to you. I'll get to them at the end, or you can always email them to me at nick@emailmarketingdone.com. But I'm always here to help you, to get you on the right path, and to get you the kind of success with writing emails that you deserve. Finally, I want you to start thinking of how you can immediately, and I mean the second that we get off this training session, start putting these tactics into play. What can you do right now? Because I promise you, if you start working on this right after we get done with this training, you are going to be far ahead of those who decide, well, I'm probably going to do this next week. Because next week, there's this old saying in marketing that later means never. And that usually is referring to customers coming to your site and looking at your offer. If they ever decide in their mind that they're going to take action later, it means never. Well, it goes both ways. As a marketer, if you don't take immediate action when you get a good idea that you know is going to bring more money into your bank account, well then take action immediately, because if you don't, later means never. So we've got Scrooge McDuck here. This is what I want for you. I want you swimming in a vault full of money, just like our good friend Scrooge here. So you are going to need to employ some of these essential email marketing concepts throughout all of your campaigns, throughout all of your daily emails, throughout all of your automated responses. These are the core principles that are important in any effective email marketing campaign. First off, the money is not in the list. Burn this into the back of your brain. The money is not in the list. And I know you've heard it before. The money is in the list. The money is in the list. The money is not in the list. The money is in the relationship with the list. And in fact, I would go a little bit further and say that it's not even in the relationship with the list. It's in the relationship with the audience. And what I mean by that is, although I think that email marketing is far and away your ace in the hole, the most powerful weapon at your disposal, there are other channels that you could be reaching people with. You could have a connection with people over a podcast or a YouTube channel or over your social media. Now, I don't focus on any of that nonsense, but it is a way for you to get your message out there. But the most important part is that you are building a relationship with those contacts on your list. Behind each and every one of those people who signed up for your list is a living, breathing person, somebody with a problem that you can help them solve. Treat them as such. Listen, every time that I give a presentation and I ask the whole group, who would like to have a 1,000,000-person email list right now? And I'm not talking just an email list that was scraped and half of them are fake emails or they're spam emails. I'm talking legitimate emails that are going to go right to their priority inbox. Every hand goes up in the air. And the funny thing is I think, well, first off, what a waste of all the money that you have to spend, that extra money for having so many people that are on your list that don't care about what you have to say. You can go out right now and buy a 1,000,000-person list of good, clean emails that are not going to bounce, that'll go straight to their inbox. But if they don't care about what you have to say, or even worse, they don't care about you, then they are not going to get opened, and they may as well be going to the spam bin because they're probably going to be clicking that very soon anyway. You want to be building a relationship with your audience from the very get-go, and the opening volley sequence is designed to do just that. So is sending daily fresh email, and I mean every day. Not just once a week, not just every other day. Get in the habit of writing an email every day. Hey, get in the habit of writing 2 emails every day if you're feeling really ambitious. I've never seen my sales go down from that. I've never seen it affect me adversely by doing that. So start getting into writing fresh daily email content with some exceptions. And obviously, tonight we are talking about an exception, and there are a few others, but the opening volley is an automated sequence, and we will be doing that on an automated way. But after that sequence finishes, you're going to go straight into your fresh daily email content every day in, day out, and watch the money start flowing into your bank account. No joke. The next thing is I want you to avoid, like Ebola, clickbait type emails and swipe copy. Any email that all of the other affiliates in your niche are sending out that you just swap in your name for their name. Listen, you're not fooling anybody. You might be the only person that they are actually opening the emails for, but at the same time, they almost always come off as generic, boring, and they tend to, as this says, be clickbait style emails where it's just like try to get them to click at all costs. I'm going to show you a better way to get qualified people to click. You don't want to just get a bunch of clicks because, as you'll see in just a second, don't pay attention to your open rates, your click-through rates, or any of that nonsense. The last I checked, you can't take those to the bank and cash them and throw them into your Scrooge McDuck money vault. The only thing that you can cash is cold, hard sales. Pay attention to those numbers, and who cares about how many emails are getting opens and click-throughs? Yes, they can play a part in being able to figure out how effective your campaign is, but I've actually noticed that a lot of the time, some of my highest selling emails had really low click-through rates. They even oftentimes had really low open rates, but the right people, the people that were ready to buy, were the ones that would click. And so the sales were higher even though the open and click-through rates weren't all that great. I mean, think about this, and this probably goes back to the clickbait example. If I wanted to get a really high click-through rate or open rate, all I would have to say is click here for Taylor Swift's boobs. And now I don't have a picture of her boobs, and I don't know if those exist or anything, but I guarantee if I sent that out to a majority of people, especially if it was a group of men on that list, they would click like crazy. It does not mean that I'm going to have a torrent of cash flowing into my wallet. It's just not going to happen. They'll go there and find out that I either had a photoshopped picture of Taylor Swift's boobs or it didn't exist at all, and then they're going to feel tricked. And either way, even if they did find that picture, it's not going to get them further down the sales path. That's what we're here to do. One more concept on that is to be light on hard teaching and content, but be heavy on infotaining. Let me explain this a little bit better. Think of it this way. Who makes more money? Teachers or entertainers? Teachers or entertainers? Now, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to realize that entertainers make a lot more money than teachers. It is your responsibility as an effective email marketer to be entertaining, and call it infotaining, because you do want to be relevant. You do want to be talking about the subject that is the concern, the problem they may be experiencing, the solution that you have. So definitely keep it on topic, but keep it fun, keep it light, keep it entertaining, keep it exciting. Don't teach them a lot of stuff, because if you're teaching in every email and you're giving them a lot of heavy content, here are 7 things you should do to be able to get people to open your emails every day. If you send out emails like that, then why are they going to buy your product that teaches them how to make more money with email marketing? It's just silly. It's counterproductive. All they got to do is pay attention to your emails. But the funny thing is that actually even goes against them selling or getting excited about opening in the first place, because people are starved for entertainment. Listen, I'm recording this right now. I still have yet to watch House of Cards Season 3. Now, do I want to be sitting here recording this and creating awesome content for you? Of course I do. In the back of my mind, am I not thinking about how awesome it's going to be when I see what happens on Season 3 of House of Cards? That is weighing on me more than anything. In fact, who knows? Maybe after this I'll go watch it. When you're thinking from a client's perspective or a prospective buyer's perspective, They are thinking, all right, well, listen, I can go learn a bunch of stuff on how to make money. That's awesome. Or they could go and watch the newest show on Netflix. They can watch, they can go to the movie theater and see whatever's playing right now, Jurassic World or something like that. And you know what's going to win out most of the time? Even for some of the most disciplined people, the entertaining route. So if you could be that source of entertainment, that infotainment that they get on a daily basis, trust me, you are going to stand out like a wet fart in a study hall. It's going to be so obvious what's going on, and they're going to love it, unlike the wet fart in the study hall. Now, the final thing that I want to do, and this is really big and important, and it flies in the face of a lot of even top name email marketers out there, where they recommend that you just keep it short, light, and get them over to the sales page. I call shenanigans. You make the sale in the email. And trust me, you can write long, lengthy emails. So long as you keep them infotaining, people will read on until they want to buy. And so that when they hit that sales page, they're just scrolling down to the add to cart button, or you can even send them straight to a checkout page. If you've seen some of the checkout pages that I have, they are very, very simple, ugly, and to the point. Why? Because I've sold them already in the email. By the time they finish that email and they click that link, they're already fumbling for their credit card. Make that sale in the email, and then it doesn't even matter if your copy on the sales page is all that great. You've already taken care of it in your daily emails. And so now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the opening volley sequence revealed at long last. Are you ready? Should we dive in? I think we should. What do you say? Here we go. All right, so the opening volley sequence framework is basically it's 5 to 7 emails designed to get you into their priority inbox and get them consuming them like a fat kid would be eating donuts at a Krispy Kreme. It's going to be that much of a ravenous response on their part. They can't wait to wake up in the morning or whenever it is you send. Honestly, there's this myth out there that you need to send early in the morning, or lately I've been hearing you need to send at 8 o'clock at night. Honestly, send whenever the hell you feel like it. It honestly doesn't matter. Sure, there probably are some times, and it really depends niche to niche, which is going to be the best time to send, but personally, I send whenever the hell I feel like it, and you should too, unless you find that you get a huge boost by mailing at a certain time, then do it then. But overall, do it whenever. So anyways, they're ready, excited. They're waiting by their inbox, just waiting for that email to appear because you have set them up properly with the opening volley sequence. I said it's 5 to 7 emails because not all are completely necessary. You don't have to do some of these strategies. You don't have to send some of these emails. You can have 4, 5, 6, 7. You can have all of them if you want. You can have less of them if you want. The more weapons in your arsenal, the more deadly the effect. So use as many as you're comfortable with or you want to use, but do some of the bare minimum ones. There are a few option ones, and I'll point those out, but the other ones should be considered, yes, I need to do these. Run this sequence before transitioning into your fresh daily emails. Don't be running your fresh emails, your fresh daily emails at the same time that you're running the opening volley sequence. Put this on a sequence where they only receive this for the first 5 to 7 days, and then after that they get dumped off into the house list, assuming they didn't make any purchases. If they make any purchases, you're going to want to put them into the Operation Phoenix sequence, which is something that I'm not going to cover in this, but it's something that in some upcoming trainings you'll learn all about, and it's how to really ratchet up even more sales using nothing but simple old email that is automated and ready to get them buying more and more stuff from you. So once again, they go through the opening volley sequence, and then after that, you will then begin sending them fresh daily emails the way that I teach you how to do it. The entertaining way, the infotaining way, the exciting way, but only after. And pretty much if you're using something like ActiveCampaign or Entreport or Infusionsoft, this is a breeze. It gets a little bit more tricky when you're using services like Aweber or GetResponse. I know that with Aweber there's something called Aweber Pro Tools that you could use that will make the process a little easier, but it's just a little bit more manual, more tricky if you're using GetResponse or MailChimp or some of those others. So I highly recommend, and honestly it's really cheap. This is not like a affiliate promotion, but I use Active Campaign for everything related to email marketing done, and it is a brilliant, it's the best one on the market right now. So I highly recommend checking that out. It's very affordable, has all of the stuff you need for automations and tagging and really setting things on autopilot. Even though that I recommend you do mostly fresh content, it will make it so that those automated parts of my whole system are integrated seamlessly. Next, and this kind of goes before we even get into the opening volley sequence, but I want to include it for a very strong reason, because people are not even going to bother with your opening volley sequence if you fumble this one. If you don't have a solid lead magnet and a high converting squeeze page to get them onto your list in the first place, well, then they're never going to read your opening volley sequence. Or if they read your lead magnet and it's crappy, they're going to think, oh, well, then everything else he writes is probably crappy as well. So make sure that you take some time to develop a very solid lead magnet. And I want to get a little bit further into what a good lead magnet is. It should solve one specific problem that they can take care of really quickly, and that should take no longer than 15 minutes to consume. You really don't want to give them a 197 page manifesto on how to make the perfect donut that Fat Kids and Krispy Kreme will be eating. You don't want that speed bump getting in the way of reading all of your other emails and seeing all of your other marketing promotional material. But you still want to deliver on that promise. If you promise them something awesome, and you should, make sure you deliver in that PDF report or that video or whatever it is that you're offering. But once again, make sure it's one specific problem. And you can create tons of these and get people into your funnel in many different ways. You could have 20 different one specific problem lead magnets and get them in all of these different ways, so that you have a database of people that you can hook them on for different reasons. Have something that's like that only takes 15 minutes or less. I find if I can get something that's of value that solves the problem in 5 minutes, even better. Now, I said that there's 5 to 7 emails. There's actually an email 0 that I don't count, but it is really important because, as we were just talking about a second ago, we were talking about the lead magnet. Now, email 0 is just about delivering that email magnet, but there's a format that you want to follow in delivering that. First off, yes, you want to deliver your lead magnet. 2, keep it simple and brief. This does not need to be like some of the other emails that you're going to be writing. This does not need to be a 5-page email. It's just something that delivers the goods that you promised and does it in a way that gets them excited, that thanks them for it, that says they made a wise decision, congratulates them. It gives them the benefits and advantages of consuming, because really, most people will sign up for a newsletter to get some sort of opt-in lead magnet, and then they never actually consume it. But if you've written a high quality lead magnet that demonstrates that you're an expert that can help them and also gives them an oblique call to action, well, then you want them to read it. So give them the benefits and advantages of reading it. Tell them exactly why they should, what they're going to gain from it, what problems it's going to solve. And that will pay dividends in getting them to actually read it. And it'll further them down the sales path. And then finally, I like to end things with a quick plug to your offer. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but you could say, like, listen, if you like stuff like this, I think you're going to absolutely adore Y. So if you like X offer, whatever the lead magnet is, you're going to absolutely adore Y. Go check it out here. I think it might be something that will interest you. One other note on the lead magnet is I like to end all of my lead magnets with a soft call to action as well. Like, listen, if you enjoyed this guide, you might want to go check out whatever your core offer is, or your tripwire offer, or whatever offer it is that you want to put out there. You might want to go check this out and then send them to the sales page. Okay, so that's email 0. It really isn't part of the opening volley sequence, but it is. I mean, it's essential. It needs to be there. But this is where we're going to start indoctrinating people into only wanting to consume from you. It starts with email number 1, and this is the welcome aboard email. And basically what you want to do is say something along the lines of, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining. I've seen many people say, welcome to the clan, or welcome to the the crew or welcome to the tribe or any of these words that implies community. You don't have to do this, but you do want to welcome them and thank them. Then you want to give them benefits and teasers for the daily messages that are coming. As I've said, I tend to do fresh daily email content that is written every day. So I don't know exactly what those things are going to be, but I do know in general, because I know my niche, I know my target audience, that I'll be talking about a certain subject matter. So just give them benefits in kind of a general but compelling way. This is what we're going to be talking about. 3 surefire ways to get people opening your emails every day. We're going to be giving you strategies to get people to spread the word for you on autopilot without you doing a damn thing. We are going to give you ways that you can have almost no clicks in your emails and yet sales come flooding in. Stuff like that. It doesn't have to be exact because maybe you don't know what you're going to do, but you do know that in general these are topics you're going to be covering. Give them the teasers so that they can't wait to see them. Then this is really important because, some people aren't accustomed to. In fact, if they're on most gurus' lists or most of the people's lists in your niche, they're probably not used to getting emailed every day. So just let them know right off the bat. Say it's a daily newsletter filled with tips, tricks, and tactics that will get them whatever result they want, but you promise, and this is also, put this into it, make sure you write this out, but you promise to keep them fun, entertaining, and actionable. The next thing that you should write after you do all that, you've set it up, it says that they're going to get what they want, the benefits, the teasers, you said that it's going to be fun, entertaining, actionable. You're going to send them every day, but if that bugs you, no hard feelings, just scroll down to the bottom, click unsubscribe. Another tactic you could do is have the unsubscribe button right there in the email body copy, but I find it's just, tell them scroll down to the bottom, unsubscribe, no hard feelings, and, you can even add in, listen, if at any time you feel like I'm emailing too much or you don't want to hear from me anymore, feel free to unsubscribe. I won't feel too sad, well, maybe a little bit, but I understand and we'll go our separate ways as friends. Something along those lines. Now here's something optional, and you don't have to do this, but I found it's actually really awesome, and you'll get people that will open just for this one thing and this one thing only, even if they're not opening to read whatever it is that you have. Maybe your subject line didn't catch them, or maybe they aren't really in the mood to read, but they want to see what you've done here. I like to create infographics where it gives them another benefit to opening it. So I've heard of one person who was creating a different workout per day, and he made an infographic of that and just had it at the bottom. Here's a workout that you could do today to add into your repertoire. The awesome thing is that you could tell them, because you've got all these different workouts or whatever it is, the tip of the day for how to do XYZ, save all of your emails, because then you have all of these in a folder. So, and if you can get them to put it in a special folder, that's another way to get into their priority inbox. That's another awesome strategy. But one of the things that I do is I will give inspirational quotes or reflections, or for all of those who are watching this right now, you've probably seen the writer's remedies. I put those at the bottom just to kind of get people in the mood to be writing, because as email copywriters, that's basically what we are, is we are writers that are there to convince people to buy. So I wanted to give them a secondary benefit, something to inspire them to keep writing, because we both know, if you're watching this right now, writing is not always the easiest thing to do. Okay, so this one is also extremely important, and I'm going to give you a link here. Now, one little notice is I did not create the page that this link goes to. I just did some searching and found that this is a really awesome page to emulate. So you could just send them to this page. That's fine. You'd be giving them your traffic, but I would rather you find this page or something like it and create it on your own page, and that'll give you more traffic going back to your site. Basically, you want to link them to whitelisting instructions. And whitelisting is basically the process that you can get them to put you in their inbox. And one other thing that I like to add, and I don't think I put it in the notes here, but I like to have them, here are the whitelisting instructions. Just click here, go follow the instructions, and once you get done with it, just shoot me an email, click reply, and say done. We're going to get more into the importance of people emailing you in the second email, but just say, go do these, follow the instructions. You'll find if you go to emd.bz whitelisting. The page will show you some pretty awesome things on how to whitelist in every ISP, whether it's Google, whether it's Yahoo, whether it's iCloud, whether it's Hotmail or Outlook. It will show you exactly how to do this. So make a version of it on your page or use the one here. I prefer making it on your own page. Now, one other thing that you can do, and once again, this is optional, have a welcome video. You can say, I'm glad you're here, and it's basically just a video where you welcome them personally. And you can do a lot of things with those welcome videos. You can ask them to take a survey while they're there. Although email number 7, little foreshadowing here, email number 7 does deal with surveys and giving them exactly what they want. But a lot of the times that personal touch of you saying hello to them and that you're there to help them and anything they need, just let you know and you will help them out pronto, is really effective. I mean, how many people do you know are doing this, especially in those early phases of opening? Not very many. This stands you apart from all of those other marketers that never do this. You want to put your signature, and I like to get creative here. I like to have a creative sign off, and I like to brand myself as some sort of expert or friend. So you've probably noticed in the email marketing done emails that I send out, not only do I sign it off with "your check is in the email," which I thought was kind of clever and funny, and it was a fun play on words, but it gave me something to sign it out every day that wasn't just cheers or talk soon or regards or anything like that. Now, there's nothing wrong with using any of those. I just don't find them nearly as exciting or as compelling as coming up with something a little bit more fun. But know that this is also not required, but it definitely is going to be far more effective. So if you can think of something like that that you can use that's relevant to your niche, do it. The next thing is underneath your name, I like to brand myself as some sort of expert. So you'll notice in the email marketing done emails that I have branded myself as your email go-to guy, because I want you to think of me as your go-to guy. Anything concerning with email, whether it's getting more sales, whether it's getting more people to open, whether it's writing better email copy, I'm your go-to guy. I'm the guy that you go to when you have any problems or you have any questions about email marketing. Don't go to the other guys. I'm your email go-to guy. Now, granted, I don't even think that's the most effective title, but it's a good enough title. You don't have to have the world's greatest title, but come up with something where you're the expert or you're their friend. You could just say, I'm your email friend. I'm your partner in crime in whatever. Maybe that's going a little far, but come up with something if at all possible. It's not necessary, but damn is it effective if you do it. The next thing is the PS testimonial. And you basically want to give a PS, and then I give a testimonial of results from just a regular reader. Somebody who has read the newsletter and has been able to experience some positive results by just reading the newsletter. This is not about your product yet. This is just about reading your newsletter. So survey your list, or if you know somebody who's been reading it that has helped you, or somebody who likes to email you back, ask them if they could just say a few words about how your newsletter has helped. This is going to get them excited. It shows more social proof that people are enjoying this, that it is helpful, because once again, this is the first message. So it just shows them that other people are getting benefit from it. They probably will too. Then finally, in every email, there's going to be some sort of call to action. So I know this one kind of has a few of them, but you want to end this one with a soft pitch to your intro offer. Now, I omit the PPS if I do an optional welcome video, because there will be some sort of call to action within the welcome video. I will welcome them and then tell them, if you would like more help, go check out this offer here. And keep it pretty low key and chill, but you do want to have some sort of pitch towards your product, even if right now it's not as overt. Because trust me, once we get into the daily fresh emails, it's going to be, we're going to be selling. We're not going to be obnoxious about it, but we will be selling, and we will be promoting a link in every email or some sort of action that we want them to take. Like this action right here. Email number 2 is all about getting you into their inbox, and this is really important. What you want to do is start off by reminding them that you sent them an email yesterday with a guide or saying that, I understand that you have a lot of emails going to your inbox and it's really hard to pay attention. So I just want to make sure that you got this. I don't even know if it went to your spam box, but if you did receive this email, could you just do a split second favor for me and click reply to this? That's it. Now, why do you want to do this? I'll tell you in a minute, but think about some of the reasons why you might want to do this. The thing that I usually like to say is, do me a favor, hit reply, say got it. I like to add in the got it just so it gives them one more thing to invest in it. Yes, if they just click reply and send, that's fine. But usually if they write got it, that's even better because it's getting them to do more. And it's going to show that they're kind of corresponding with you. And you can use this as a very covert sales funnel. And I'm not going to really go into how you would make this email sales funnel. But, well, I'm going to hint to you in a minute because I want to get finished what you want them to do. And then I'll show you how you can kind of do a really weird mini funnel here. Then I like to say if you have 20 extra seconds to spare, so I can be sure to deliver exactly what you're looking for. If you do, tell me what confuses you most or where do you struggle most? What are your goals? Anything along these lines. Just get them talking. Get them saying what their problems are, what it is they want to solve, what are their hurdles, what are the sticking points they have. Get them talking about that. I usually like to be like, if you have 23.7 extra seconds, could you do me another favor? Tell me what confuses you most about whatever the problem is at hand. Now, this is good because the more they write to you, the better. The more it looks like you're having an actual conversation. It also gives you a lot of good intel. You're going to find out, hey, maybe you're offering a product on Y when really, when you get all these emails back, people don't give a crap about Y. They want to know about Z. So offer them Z. This really makes it easy for you to figure out what it is that they want. Now, here is what you want to be doing with this. You want to be replying to everybody who replies to you, and you want to reply in a way that will elicit them to reply back. I use Google canned messages to do this because most people reply with the same stuff every time. Maybe they just say got it. Well, then I ask them again, oh, I'm glad we were able to connect online. Now, what would you say confuses you most about losing weight, for example? And if they respond to that, awesome. Because really, and there was another one where they could respond in the first email, but you want to get at least 2 back and forth responses, because if you can do that, I guarantee your emails are going to move straight into their priority inbox, and the chances of your emails getting read are going to be skyrocketed from there on out. So try to get them to send 2 to 3 messages back and forth. Now, isn't that going to cut into a lot of your time? Realize that most people are not going to do this, but those who do, awesome. The more you can get to do this, the better. You can hire an assistant to do this. Just get a cheap virtual assistant to do this and figure out what it is that they most likely respond, and then do canned messages or copy paste messages to apply to whatever it is that they say. Easy, easy breezy. All right, so you want to end this email off with your personal hero arc story. And the reason that you want to do this and the reason you want to do it here is, all right, you've already got them going back and forth on their problems. You want to relate to them and say that, listen, I've had problems with this too. People don't really like Superman if he didn't have kryptonite. Kryptonite is what makes people enjoy the stories of Superman, because without that, he's just an indestructible man that can do anything, and that's boring. It's the kryptonite. It's the things that are his weaknesses that make it so that we can connect with him, because we all have our weaknesses, even Superman. So when you are crafting your personal hero arc story, this is where you could show that you have not always been as effective as you are in whatever it is that you want to teach them. You could show that sometimes you still fumble and fail, even though you are considered an expert or whatever. You want to humanize yourself so that they can relate to you, so that they can trust you, so that they can know how you were once in their shoes and now are able to ascend that and become a master. And by implication, they could do the same thing. So it's really important that you throw this in, because you really want to get them bonding to you. And this is one of the most effective ways I know for getting that bond from a person on your list. All right, email number 3. Now, this is an interesting one. This is an email that you're going to be sending out to kind of build credibility. This is not a content email. And I know I told you earlier, you don't want to be heavy on hard teaching. You don't want to be heavy on content. This is going to almost seem like you're going to be giving out hard teaching and content. But really what you're trying to do in this email is build authority. You want to demonstrate that you actually know what you're doing, that you can actually help them. So what you're going to do here is offer 3 links to kick-ass resources to further help them on their path. These can be other lead magnets that you've created. These could be YouTube videos that you've created. They can even be YouTube videos that you found that you happen to find helpful. I find if it's content you've created, it's usually better. It gives you more authority. But hey, curating good content also shows that you are a leader and are going to give them valuable stuff. Now, the next thing is you can give them blog posts. You can give them content that others have created. Maybe there's some affiliates out there that have created a really awesome report, or they have posted a really awesome blog post. You can give them that as well. Now, I tend to shy away from giving out other people's stuff, but if you're starting out in a niche just new and fresh and don't have this stuff, then use some of the resources that are available to you. Find an article that's really awesome on another site, or find an awesome article on another site and make your own version of it. Put a little twist on it, make it yours. Or somebody else has an awesome lead magnet, create one that's similar but has your own spin on it. That is what you want to be doing here. But that's not it. You want to get them, all right, well, this is the good stuff, but did you read or watch or whatever your original lead magnet is? Did you consume it? Did you go through it? Did you see on page 4, I gave you tip number 7 that revealed the shocking blah, blah, blah. Did you get that? How are you planning on using that? Re-encourage them to consume it and give them some of the benefits and some of the stuff they're missing. Give them teasers. Like, did you see tip number 3? Did that not blow your mind? Now they're curious to see what it is. So then what you want to do, and I know that this is one of those emails where we're kind of breaking some of the cardinal rules of email marketing, where you really overall in 95, probably 99% of the emails you send, it's one email, one call to action. This one has several call to actions, but you want to give them a final call to action to solve their problems immediately, once and for all, by checking out your introductory offer, whatever it may be. It may be your core offer, it may be your tripwire, it may be a high-end coaching program. Whatever it is that you have, say, listen, you can see all of this stuff, how it's going to help you. And then when you do check it out, see that it's for you, I want you to do yourself a favor, do the right thing for you and your future, and go check out this offer. It's right here. It won't be there for long, and it's going to solve all of your problems. And imagine how great it's going to feel when you are able to walk free of all these problems that have been shackling you down and holding you back and keeping you from the life you know you deserve. Stuff like that. All right. And then finally, optional. And I say optional, but this actually probably shouldn't be. Basically, have a PS with a success story from somebody who used a technique in your introductory offer. So let's say your introductory offer is a guitar program. You could say, listen, this guy learned the pentatonic scale in 10 minutes by using this technique that was able to make him do blazing fast guitar solos in under 10 minutes. Curious what it is? Go check it out. Here's what he had to say. And then link to it again. So say Timmy T from Salt Lake City, Utah, used this technique to learn the pentatonic scales. Here's what he had to say. Whatever it is that he said, great. Quote that. Once again, link to the offer. Email number 4. This is optional. It's useful. It's not required. But I've used this in so many different ways, and use it in ways that I can send out emails that I would never be able to send out under my own name. But if I do it in the strategy I'm about to show you, it crushes. So here we go. You want to introduce them to your personal assistant who can help them at any time and can be totally made up. If you don't have an assistant, or if you don't have an assistant that you want doing this or think can handle this, you could totally make one up. I have one made up for one of my niches, and it's in a niche that is mostly geared towards guys. So I have a really hot, attractive girl as my assistant, and she's totally made up. She's not a real person. And, you know, for all of those who happen to be on that list, hey, Maybe someday she will be a real person, but right now she's not. She's just me. But what's awesome about this is that you can, after you've created a name for her, an avatar for her, made her your personal assistant, your general manager, whatever title you want to give her, you can do a lot of cool things with her. You want to first say the things that they can do. Like if you have any technical problems, please direct everything to her. And I like to do this too, just so I can separate all those people who are invading my inbox with requests for technical support. I don't like answering tech support questions all day. I'd rather that go to my quote unquote assistant. I'll check that email like once a day or twice a day and go through all the tech support stuff. I don't want that to be bothering me throughout my day to day work. Then say stuff she can't do. She can't come over and cook you dinner. She can't really answer a lot of your deep-seated questions on practice and theory and whatever it is, but she can handle all the technical and support issues that you might have, or billing issues or stuff like that. What's really awesome is that you can then say, but that being said, my personal assistant had this to say about the core offer. And have them be specific and maybe say this is why they decided to work for you is because they checked out this product, found it so amazing, or the service that you have, whatever it happens to be, found it so amazing that they couldn't help but beg you to work for them. And although you were hesitant at first to hire them because they lacked the experience, they didn't lack the enthusiasm. So now they are on board. Something like that is going to show that from a second party, somebody who was so excited about the product they wanted to work for you is on your team. Now, here's one other thing that I like to end the email off with is to say, listen, she is not going to be hitting your inbox very often. But when she does, know that it's going to be very important and you're going to want to open it immediately. Make sure you whitelist her as well. You can give the link again for whitelisting so you don't miss a thing. Now, what can you do here? If you're running a launch, a lot of the times they get sick of seeing 10 different emails coming from you. So what do? You mix it up. You have your assistant send a couple of emails. Let's say you want to run an internal promotion where you are doing a half-off discount. Here's a fun one to do that I've done several times. I will have my assistant send the email and say, listen, Nick is out of the office. He's probably not going to be back for the next couple of days. So we are going to pull a prank on him. A prank that I hope he enjoys, but we are slashing all of the prices by 50% while he's gone. And hopefully we make enough sales that he's not going to yell at us too much. So please help us so that he doesn't yell at us too much, because that man rules with an iron fist. Or you just keep it funny but light. And you'll be surprised if you run these promotions where there's a crazy sale because I'm out of the office and your assistant is sending out this, well then we better take care of this. And also if they've grown any sort of connection to your assistant, well, they don't want to let her down or get her in trouble, so they will buy more readily. Now there's a lot of other stuff you could do with her, but it's good to have her there in your back pocket as something that you can bring out at any time, or she could be the one that can be your fall girl at some times, that, or fall guy when you mess up. Like, listen, I thought she had it put together. Well, she would come in, I thought I had everything configured properly, but honestly this isn't my forte. I'm learning a new skill and the webinar didn't go through as planned. Oopsie. And all is forgiven when it comes from the assistant, whereas if it comes from you, you just look incompetent. But she's just the assistant. She's not supposed to know all this stuff. So that's some of the other stuff that you can do with her. Let's get into the next one that's optional. It's useful. It's not required, but damn it, you'd be crazy not to do this. And some people bring this up earlier into the opening volley, but personally I find it best right around email 5 because I really want to build up the value and get them excited about what I have to say. All of my emails are packed with excitement, and even though we're going through some basic housekeeping type emails, I still want them to be fun and exciting. So option number 5 is how you grow your list on autopilot. And I'm going to give you 2 tools that you can use to do this. I'm not getting paid any sort of affiliate commission. They don't even know that I'm mentioning this, but it's just some tools that I personally use and have found very effective. There may be better ones out there that I haven't discovered, and certainly in the future it's going to change and somebody will come out with something different that might even surpass this. But for right now, I've been using something called Traffic Zombie mostly, or a plugin called List Eruption. Once again, I'm not getting paid for this. It's just what I use. And what do? They make it possible for you to give gifts if people share a link to go opt in. So you can make it so that if they go and share the opt-in page, they will get another free bonus. So you would say, hey, go here, and for every person that signs up, if you get one person to sign up, you'll get this product. And if you get this 5 people, you'll get this product, a higher level product. If you get 20 people, you'll get a higher product or something like that. Now, it doesn't even have to be giving them products. A very sneaky way to do this that also gets money in your bank account while simultaneously building your list is just to offer them a discount. Listen, if you post this on Facebook, or if you post this on Twitter or LinkedIn or any of those things, Google Plus, if you post it there, then I'll give you a 50% discount. Now, what does this do? It gets you some backlinks on some of the social sites, which is awesome for SEO, and it's awesome for getting random people coming to your offer. And since you're offering just like a discount, you might make some money, and you'd be making money on top of them referring people. So not a bad deal. And most of you out there are doing affiliate marketing anyways, where you'd be giving up 50%. So give them a 50% discount and let them, this inexperienced marketer do the marketing for you, and pay them the same, whatever, or pay them less. You set the prices. That's some of the stuff you could do. You can add in other bonuses, whatever it is that you want to give them. Doesn't really matter. Here's a list of things. I guess I kind of mentioned a bunch of them. You can give them a tripwire offer for some low-end amount of opt-ins. You can give them higher paid products for free if they get a bunch of people. Discounts. You can give exclusive bonuses. Like, hey, listen, I'm going to give you this bonus that I normally only give out when people buy XYZ product. I'm going to give it to you if you post this on Twitter and Facebook. And the plugins that I gave you give them all the tools they need to post things on Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff, Google+. Now, here's another thing that you can do. This is a little sneaky, and I don't know that I recommend doing this, but it's something that you could do, especially if it's in a niche that's a little bit embarrassing. Say they're selling a herpes cure, say they're selling a product that is how to meet more women, and no guy wants to share that he's terrible with women, so they're a little bit more reluctant to want to share it. No problem. You can instruct them that, if it is something embarrassing like that, just go ahead and create a free Gmail account and mail it to them anonymously, because you know that this person that you're thinking of right now needs this stuff. He needs to get better with women. He needs to get rid of his herpes or whatever it is. So you could do it anonymously, and hopefully they'll take action on it, and then you get your free goodies, and you've done your good deed because you helped your friend out. So that's another thing that you could do. I don't always do this. I sometimes do it in the embarrassing niches, but once again, that's kind of an optional thing. If it is an embarrassing one, then yeah, you might want to add this in. If not, don't even worry about it. Email number 6. So we're getting close to the end here. Email number 6 is a really good one. It is time for you to start doing some more infotaining pitches. This is where you're going to actually make an email that is very similar to the kind of emails that you're going to be writing on a daily basis the second they get out of the opening volley. The type of emails that I'm going to teach you in a further training, should you be interested in joining up on that. So this is going to be your new habit every day anyways. Why not get it started right now? Let's get down, buckle down, write that email, put it in your autoresponder series for your opening volley. And this is just the start of you being able to write these on the fly every day. Your contact at this point should be very warmed up and ready to hang on your every word. So let's start messaging them in the way that they're going to be receiving messages every day. Now, because this is in an autoresponder, you want to make it evergreen. You don't want this to be something about Obama or something about Kobe Bryant, who might be injured next year, or he might be out of office in a couple years, so it doesn't make nearly as much sense. You want this email to be something that they could read now, or they could read 5 years from now, and it would still be every bit as relevant. And I find the best way to do that is to either use a story or use a metaphor that illustrates a point. So you might use an Aesop's fable to illustrate a point that they need to do X, Y, or Z. Or maybe you might find a historical example of a lesson that was learned from a military tactic by the ancient Romans and how that applies to whatever it is that you're talking about. Just make sure that it's evergreen and you'll be fine here. Then, after you've done that, I want you to add in bullet points that have features, benefits, and advantages of your offer. Now, just so I can get in, this is, yeah, Marketing 101, but just for those who don't know the difference between features, benefits, and advantages, features is basically the what. What is it? Is it a widget that does X, Y, Z? Cool, that's what it is. What are the benefits of having this widget? This widget allows you to do things, automate things at 3,000 times faster than normal. What's the advantage of having this widget that does things 3 times faster than normal? Well, you don't have to spend all of your day doing this manually. Something that might have taken you hours is now taking you mere seconds. That's the advantage. So set your bullet points up in that format and you can't go wrong. You're crossing all of your I's, or sorry, dotting all of your I's, crossing your T's. You've got every base covered. That's how you have a hard hitting bullet every time. Follow that format. Then you want to give a testimonial of someone who had a success story from your program. So whoever it is, get a success story, how they were specifically able to put the principles into play that you reveal in your program or stuff that your service is able to do for them, and have them give a testimonial about how badass it is, and then call to action. Tell them, go check it out, go buy it now, rip out your credit card, pull it out, and get it right next to the computer. Use your grubby little paws and start chomping those numbers right into your computer. Do it now. Finally, you want to do a PS, and this is kind of optional, but the next email is kind of optional as well. There's pros and cons doing it. Some people like doing it, and if it's in a niche that you're just starting out in and you don't have yourself established as far as what your offer is going to be, or maybe the offers that you've created aren't selling as well as you'd like, or maybe you just like to see where there's room for improvement, then definitely include this. But see that tomorrow you're going to zero in on exactly what they're struggling with so you can laser focus on that. So let's get into what that means. Is you're going to give them a survey. Now there's plenty of plugins that do this, I believe, and I'm once again not getting paid for this. I believe Ryan Levesque has a survey funnel plugin that you can use that will do this. I know that ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, they have stuff to do this that are a little less elegant. You can use SurveyMonkey. There's a lot of ways to do this, or you could do it the very easiest way, which I'm going to show you right now. This is how I do it. You're going to send a brief email that leads to the survey of just a few basic questions, and I just tell them, reply to this email with the responses to these very simple questions. It might take you 48 seconds, and that's if you are really slow at typing. If you use 2 fingers to type or something like that. First off, what can I help you with most? What is the biggest problem? I know I've kind of alluded to this before, but I really want to know, what is it that they want? What is it that they are struggling with? Where are their problems? Then I want to know what kind of programs they prefer. Different niches want different things. I know in certain niches that I've been in, they really just love videos. Others cannot stand videos. They don't have the time. They usually are listening to the product in their car. They want audio. They want to be able to put it on their iPhone and just listen to the audio there. Or some people just like to read. And sometimes that's an ebook, or sometimes they want a physical book in their hands. Other people are looking for coaching, and this is more high-end type stuff, but they want coaching or live training, or they want some sort of software that will help them to achieve their goals. Whatever it is, find out what kind of way they like to consume their products are. You might be surprised. You might think that the videos that you're creating, that you're spending thousands of dollars to develop with green screens and fancy graphics and all that is awesome and what they want, when really they just want a simple ebook. So find out what they want, and then I wouldn't word it this way, and I don't know why I worded it this way in the slide, but how can I improve this newsletter for you? Or how can I give you, I would probably word this, how can I deliver the best possible experience for you with this newsletter? What would you like to see in it? Now, this is just kind of curious as to what they would like to get on a daily basis. It just kind of gives you insight into the mindset. Now, when they reply to these, I always reply back and clarify. And oftentimes, oh, is this what you want? You want a audio training on how to approach women without fear if you're in the dating niche? Well, it just so happens that I have an audio program on how to approach women without fear during the day. So here is the link to that. Go check it out. I think it's going to be the exact thing that you were looking for. So you can use all these emails to sell, even if it is a little extra work, and maybe it's not quite as automatic when you are responding to these emails, but you can either be responding to them yourself, realize most aren't going to reply, or you can hire an assistant to do this. And maybe you can have that assistant be the fake assistant that I had in the other email. All right, so that is the 7 emails that you want to do. After this, you're off to the racetracks. It's time for you to start sending fresh daily emails to your list and start cashing in on the money that your list owes you. I want a torrent of cash flowing down a hill into your bank account, just filling up so you've got that Scrooge McDuck vault full of cash and gold coins, if possible, Kruger Rands, if you will, and diamonds that are all yours and all owed to you because you have set things up properly. And man, people cannot wait to read, open, click your emails. You become the only authority in their inbox that they pay attention to. If you're not sure how best to start writing those daily emails, you're going to want to stick around. This presentation has nothing to do with that. I'm not going to get into the specifics. I did give you some of the groundwork for it. So hopefully your gears are turning in the back of your mind and you're starting to think to yourself, how am I going to write an email every day that is exciting, captivating, and ultimately drives cold, hard cash to my bank account? Start thinking of ways that you can do that. And even more importantly, since I've gone through all of the different steps of the opening volley, I want you thinking, how am I going to put these into play? Better yet, forget about thinking, start writing. You have the framework, start putting it in your own voice. And here's a tip that I didn't talk about earlier because I thought I would save it for the very end. Write these emails like you talk. Don't write these emails in a way that you think is going to sound all fancy-pantsy. Most people don't want that. Write the way that you talk and you're going to connect with people because you're going to find most people don't want the big fancy words. They don't want the flowery language. They just want something real like they were talking to their friend. So write an email like you were talking to a friend and you're going to be far more effective in this. Now, that's it for part 1 of the opening volley sequence. This is the theory behind it. In the next video, we are going to be going over the actual application. And I am going to be revealing to you the 7 emails that I revealed in this presentation today and how I did it myself in the emails that I have created for my own accounts and for some of my clients. So you can see how it's done in practice. And also, I'd like to answer all of your questions that you may have in your own particular niches on how you applied it. So maybe I'll take a look at some of the emails that you have created, or maybe you can ask me specific questions on how you can improve. Come prepared with questions, and I will see you then.